Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Khamzat Chimaev is a really good fighter, but just not that good. Before you start trashing me in the comments, please watch the full explanation, and by the end of it, even if you don't agree with me, you might find my reasons compelling. Have said this before, I am a fan of TheWeasle, and he recently made a video on the odds of who will be the champion by the end of 2026. I mean, he predicted Khamzat Chimaev is gonna be the champion in light heavyweight, but 1 minute into the video, he said Khamzat's wrestling and jiu-jitsu abilities should allow him to defeat the light heavyweight, particularly now because Khamzat has fixed his cardio issues and can wrestle the full 5 rounds. I, I think we can all agree Khamzat's wrestling is one of the best we have ever seen um, inside the octagon. And I would actually go a step further and say he is the best wrestler in the UFC. He's terrifyingly fast and athletic and can wrestle everywhere, which some of the more credentialed fighters lack. So I agree it's possible that he might become the champion at light heavyweight. But what I don't agree with TheWeasle is um, about Hamzat's jiu-jitsu and his cardio. First, let me get this out of the way. I am really, really sick and tired of fighters who just became a champ asking for a title in the division above. Stop doing this bullshit. You have a lot of contenders waiting for you, and the UFC should also stop encouraging fighters doing this. So now that I've given you the context behind this video, let me break down where I believe Khamzat Chimaev is still very much lacking. I think by this point, most of you can agree Khamzat's striking is extremely basic. He got power in his hands, but his striking can be summed up to one or two punches to the head, and or occasionally he will throw a head kick to bring the opponent's hands up, and then will shoot a low double. Its striking is very limited and is defensively open when the fight stays on the feet. But I don't really have a huge issue with this. He is a wrestler after all, so it's not really a huge issue for me. Now to the two things that Weasel said in this video. First, cardio. We saw how against Burns and Usman, Chimaev slowed down as the fight went longer. But just because the fight with the DDP went all 5 rounds, people are assuming his cardio issues are now gone. If I ask you what are some positions, some efficient positions on the ground which allows control of the opponent and also provides opportunities to do damage or get submissions. Well, you're probably gonna say back take. Again, amazing for control and subs, but otherwise it's really hard to do damage against good opponents, and your legs are gonna tire out, so you're gonna be slower in the next coming rounds. Full mount, again, really good position, but relatively harder to control your opponent. Although you can do crazy damage and find submissions from here. In my opinion, the only position that allows to be extremely efficient, you can get subs from there and you can do crazy damage from there, is the mounted crucifix. It's not really that tiring unless you're putting on some Shevchenko, Khabib level beatdown on your opponent. It's all around a really great position and provides everything, almost everything from here. Uh, I mean, obviously, if the opponent is really good, maybe you will be able to escape from here. Like Charles Oliveira escaped from Ilia Topuria pretty easily, but we are talking about middleweight here. Khamzat Chimaev had almost 1.5 rounds of purely mounted crucifix position, and I'm not including side control or back take. Purely mounted crucifix, and he still gassed out in the fifth round. There was not really that many scrambles going on in this fight. Um, Hamzat was easily able to take DDP down almost every time. Um, but still, in the fifth round, he was visibly gassed, much slower. His double leg was slower, so much that DDP easily sprawled on him. And to make things worse, DDP reversed Hamzat twice in the fifth round. I don't really know if any of you actually believe DDP would be able to do this against Hamzat, who had at least something in his tank. And both times, Hamzat only got out of it from the mistakes of DDP. So the first time DDP tried, he pulled the guillotine without really properly securing it and fell down. And the next time, he tried a rear naked choke without properly hooking the legs or getting the body triangle, which made him slid to the side. So I completely disagree with this idea that Hamzat has fixed his cardio issues. This is gonna get worse if he moves up to light heavyweight, because not only the opponents are gonna be heavier, so it's gonna take more energy. He is also gonna be heavier, so the cardio issues are gonna only further exacerbate if he moves to light heavyweight. The lack of damage from the mounted crucifix further shows the other issue with Hamzat. Just because he looks like Islam and Habib, people assume that he is also really well rounded when it comes to grappling, but that's not really the case. His lack of top control and understanding of the position is the reason he was really struggling to do anything meaningful in this fight against DDP. If you put Charles Oliveira or Arman Sarukian or Islam Makhachev, actually, if you just reverse this position, so DDP is on mounted crucifix on the top, he would have cut Hamzat's face open from here. This is because they have a better understanding of the top positions. Let me make it clear, when I say top position, I'm not including when someone has their opponent in all fours against the cage, just dragging them around and or getting their hooks in and then maybe also securing the body triangle. I don't mean this type of top position. I mean full mount, half guard, side control, mounted crucifix. Because Hamzat is really good when you are against the cage and you have already given him his back. Uh, he, has, he, has, he has a good understanding of it, because it is somewhat of a you can get some idea of it from your wrestling experience. Anytime he gets there, he looks clueless a bit on what the next step is. I mean, he's got decent dart chokes that he can catch people with when the opponent is scrambling. But other than that, he hasn't really shown something special from the top. DDP showed one of the terrible displays of BJJ from the bottom, but even when DDP was able to get his guard back, finally in the fifth round, Hamza really couldn't do anything. And the other times, Hamzat was shooting double leg, so he was immediately landing inside control, and DDP's arm was immediately there to be crucifixed. But maybe you can say that my previous point is true, that Hamzat really gassed, so that's why he really couldn't do anything from DDP's guard. But tell me one fight where he has shown something significant from the top in these positions against a good opponent. And I mean, like, not Reese Mickey. Because let me show you what happened every time Hamzat got to these positions. It was against Kamaru Usman. Hamzat got top position on Usman twice in the fight, and he did absolutely nothing from here. He didn't. He landed some pitter patter shots, but Usman was safe the entire time. Hamzat was on top of him. and then was able to get back to his feet. Another example of when Hamzat got on top of someone is against Gilbert Burns. I mean, he did land one good elbow and some decent shots when he had rocked Gilbert Burns. But when Gilbert Burns had his wits, he got immediately um, kicked away from him. Again, nothing really happened. Even Kevin Holland was doing well. So Hamzat establishes side control after the takedown. It took like 2 seconds for Kevin Holland to get his guard back. And once he got his guard back, he was immediately able to get up. So even against Kevin Holland, Hamzat hasn't really shown good understanding of the top position. I mean, he did submit Kevin Holland with the darts during the scramble, but as I said, that's something he is pretty decent at. But aside from this, he really hasn't shown something good. So let's say he couldn't get the sub on, for example, Alex Pereira or Iri Prohaska, uh, and then gasses out due to the extra weight. He's going to be viciously knocked out. I mean, but this isn't to say that he can't improve in this next fight, because the DDP fight would have probably showed him a lot of his flaws, to him and also to his team. But he hasn't really shown something particularly special in his previous fights. And I do agree that with TheWeasle that he could probably beat Alex Pereira and Iri Prohaska. I only disagree with TheWeasle on how he got to that conclusion. I mean, Khamzat Chimaev is still quite young, so he can definitely add some new wrinkles to his game, but it's to be seen. Like and subscribe for more breakdowns, and I will see you guys in another video.